There is a mindset that has carried countless people through the hardest moments of their lives. Today, you're going to understand this mindset and how it can help you face your own battles with strength and clarity. You probably know someone who has lived through challenges that would break most people. Maybe it's someone in your family, a friend, or someone whose story you'll be read online. These are the kinds of people who, while others collapse at the first obstacle, keep walking. While others complain or surrender, they endure. Most people don't realize this, but there is a traditional Japanese idea called Gaman, a way of living that has transformed ordinary people into pillars of quiet resilience. Gaman isn't motivational hype. It's not about simple willpower. It's about something deterrent, identity-level decision. And here's the strange part. This mindset doesn't teach you to escape suffering. It teaches you to pass through it with honor.com and purpose. When you understand that, nothing in life can truly defeat you. I'm not saying everyone who perseveres knows this name. Many live by these principles unknowingly. But when you recognize the philosophy and apply it intentionally, your ability to endure life's storms grows tenfold. Gaman essentially means the ability to withstand difficulty without losing self-control, self-respect, or dignity. It is quiet resilience, the strength to endure what seems impossible while keeping your emotions steady and your complaints silent. It's not about showing the world your struggle. It's about choosing discipline when despair looks tempting. And that is exactly the journey you are here today. The story begins with a teenager named Aiden. He was 16, old enough to dream, but young enough that the world could still crush him if it wanted to. His family wasn't destitute, but survival was always tight. Bills stacked up faster than income. There were no expensive gifts, no extra money, and definitely no financial cushion. His father had left when he was a child, so the home was held together by Aiden, his mother, and 2 younger siblings. His mother worked endlessly to jobs, long hours, always exhausted, yet pretending to be okay. One night, Aiden watched her walk in with aching feet and that tired smile she tried so hard to fake, and something inside him shifted. He decided that he would change their future not because someone told him to, but because the weight of their struggle ignited something fierce inside his heart. He didn't have wealth or connections or privilege. All he had was a sharp mind and a burning determination. He realized that education, if he treated it seriously, could one day break the cycle. So he created a personal mission: study hard, get into a good university, and change the family's destiny. But life doesn't care about dreams. Aiden had a part-time job at a small store after school. He woke up before sunrise, went to school, worked evenings, helped with his siblings, studied at night, exercised lightly to stay healthy, and slept far less than he should. The routine was brutal. Within weeks, the exhaustion nearly crushed him. He considered quitting his extra studies. Maybe it was better to just work more hours and help the family immediately. And that's when he opened up to a teacher, someone who would change his perspective entirely. After class, Aiden approached his history teacher, an older woman who always seemed to understand more than she spoke. He told her everything: the stress, the fear, the impossible routine, the guilt, the pressure, the temptation to abandon his goals. She listened quietly, no lectures, no cliches, just genuine attention. Then she finally said, "Aiden, do you know why your struggle feels familiar to me?" She explained that her parents were Japanese immigrants who faced extreme discrimination after World War II. They starved. They were denied jobs. They were treated as if belonging to the wrong ethnicity was a crime. Every night, her parents held on to one word: Gaman. It meant enduring with dignity, facing hardship without losing themselves, continuing onward when everything seemed hopeless. She told Aiden, "You're already practicing it. You take care of your family, you study, you work, and you don't complain. What you need now is to understand the strength you already possess." Aiden left the classroom with something new inside him, a sense of identity, not just obligation. That night, he researched Gaman deeply. He learned that it wasn't about suppressing feelings or pretending everything was okay. It was the opposite, a conscious decision to face hardship without surrendering your integrity. He also discovered 2 more concepts: Kazan, meaning continuous improvement, where even 1% progress matters. And Ikigai, your purpose, the reason you wake up each morning. Suddenly everything clicked. His purpose was his family. His method would be small daily improvements. His strength came from Gaman. He wrote in his notebook, "I will endure with dignity. I will grow each day. I will not give up because they depend on me." The next day, he didn't feel motivated, he felt decisive. Motivation fades, but decisions don't. He created a simple, realistic routine. Small workouts, short study blocks, enough rest to survive. Nothing perfect, just sustainable. Gasan, one step at a time. Some days he fell short. Some days he adjusted. But he never let the river of progress stop flowing. The first weeks were torture. His mind begged him to quit. His body wanted just one more hour of sleep. Every morning became a battlefield. But he repeated the idea of Gaman. This discomfort is temporary. The future I want is worth it. By the third week, habits began forming. Beta food, the routine felt natural. Slowly, things improved. Grades, energy, focus, and then life tested him again. 3 months later, Aiden's younger sibling became severely sick. His mother had to miss work. Aiden filled her shift 12 hours straight. He came home exhausted. When the alarm rang at dawn, his entire body begged him to stay in bed, but he whispered again, "It's not about how I feel. It's about who I am becoming." He did the bare minimum, but he did something. 1 is greater than 0. This principle saved him. People at school started noticing his discipline, but something else changed too. One Sunday, he washed a neighbor's car for extra money. The neighbor complimented his skill and suggested doing it professionally. Aiden saw an opportunity. He started washing cars on weekends. Clients recommended him to others. He printed simple flyers at the library. Within months, he had a small weekend business. It wasn't much, but it mattered. More importantly, he learned that consistency builds trust, and trust attracts opportunity. Senior year, his car washing service had grown, and he even hired classmates to help. When college applications opened, he applied to 3 universities and wrote about Gaman in his essays about responsibility, endurance, and dignity. He was accepted with a full scholarship. His mother cried with happiness. But then came the dilemma. Should he choose college or expand the business? His mother encouraged him to focus on school, but Aiden had learned that choosing the easiest path, ISN, Teeper Seberans. So he chose both college during the week and business on weekends. It wasn't easy, but it was right. Aiden studied business administration and applied his classes directly to his weekend company. Marketing improved. Operations improved. Customer service improved. By the end of his degree, he had 2 physical locations, 5 workers, dozens of weekly clients, a stable monthly income, and a family finally living debt-free. His mother no longer needed multiple jobs. His siblings had better schooling, and when people asked how he did it, he always answered simply, "Gaman, I endured even when quitting seemed logical." Gaman is not emotional repression. It's not pretending life is fine. It's not being a robot. It's accepting that life will challenge you deeply, painfully, constantly, and still choosing to rise with dignity. Aiden had nights of tears and days of exhaustion, but he kept the river flowing. Never perfect, always progressing. That consistency changed his life. Now the question is yours. Are you willing to apply Gaman in your life? Because it will be hard. It won't always feel good. And you will want to quit off. But those who endure with dignity, those who push forward even at 1% per day, those are the ones who transform their world.